Let me hit record. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and then we'll get rolling. Okay. All right, all y'all. Welcome to the Lifevantage call. Here we are, June 24th, 2021, halfway through the year. My name is Dr. Brett Brimhall. I'm a chiropractor here in the Phoenix area. Excited to share with you a few minutes, and I appreciate you taking time to be here. I know there's a lot of places you can be, and I value your time. The other day, I was doing a meeting in a small town east of here, and the individual that stood up shared her story about really what we do. And she said, like, really what this has given me is hope and answers. So tonight, I hope to do just that. I hope that you'll be able to have some hope and some answers to maybe questions you're struggling with right now. Um, I was introduced to Lifevantage 6 years ago, and I was introduced to it through a patient of mine. And just to kind of give a little backstory on myself. So I've been a practicing chiropractor of 20 years. I'm in my 21st year right now. And for the last 25 years, I've trained physicians all over Canada, Europe, and the United States on a healthcare system called the 6 steps to wellness. And that the foundation is really was treating the whole person. And the philosophy we function underneath literally started years ago with my father. My father was injured, bent over, and he couldn't get back up. And his cousin literally carried him to the chiropractor's office. And the chiropractor got him back walking again. He said, "Look, you owe to the world what was done for you." And that began my journey in health and wellness. And still to this day, that's what guides me as a principal, is to truly do everything we possibly can to help the individuals that come in to see us. And so tonight you get a chance to learn, maybe for the first time, or maybe you've watched this multiple times, but hopefully it'll gravitate to you more, that there's a lot of people out there right now looking for what you are now about ready to hear. I remember this little boy coming to me years ago, and his mom was referred to me by a colleague that I trained that lived in Iowa, and I'm in Arizona. And she came in because she was looking for hope and she was looking for answers to literally help her son. And his life literally consisted of going to therapists 35 hours a week. Um, trying to learn how to behave correctly, try to learn how to learn his alphabet. He's always in his second year of preschool and still struggling with the alphabet, learning how to just do normal daily functions, but their life was consumed with 35 hours of therapy. I remember his mom coming in one day, and she goes, he's starting to notice he's different. Report card had just come out, and his older brother had got straight A's, and she said he's starting to notice he's different, and he said, I just want to be smart like my brother. That literally broke my heart on the inside, because I was doing everything that I knew, and everything that we could get our hands on to help this little boy, and he was still struggling. Well, a couple weeks after that, a product was launched through Lifevantage called Axio. His mom started giving him this product. Within 11 days, he came in to see me, and literally, it flipped the switch in him, where instead of a little boy coming in and destroying my room and running around my office in circles, and really us having to put him in front of a TV just to work with him a little bit, he sat on my table for 15 minutes. I would work with him the whole time. He then went back to do the therapy and he was doing and remembering things that we had taught him that whole year. This switch flipped in him that allowed him to come outside of himself. And so what I'm going to share with you guys tonight is a breakthrough technology, in my opinion, that literally can impact people's lives in a way where they can have hope and they can get answers that they've been looking for. And so the way this all started with Lifevantage was with a discovery clear back in the 60s, where they discovered there were these specific things inside the body could allow you to heal faster if you could just find a way to activate them. And it's a big molecule known as superoxide dismutase. And what it would do, it would fight off the aging process, right? And so the product was developed, and the news reporters caught wind of this, saying, hey, that there's this scientist that said literally you can't tell the blood right between a 20-year-old and an 8-year-old. Well, they wanted to know if that was really true. So there's a video you can watch, an ABC primetime investigative report with John Quinones, where literally you see his lab work change after 2 weeks of taking it to where it looked like the blood work of a newborn. So I'm going to show in just a second, just a very back, a 15-second clip of it, but get with the person that invited you and watch the full version. All right. Because just like John Quinones, where he became aware of something that literally changed his perspective on health and wellness, this may be what it takes for you. That video aired one time. When you watch it, I want you to listen really, really close to what oxidative stress causes in the body and think about who might that affect and how big a deal is this and how important would it be for you and those of you who love to be able to find a way to handle oxidative stress in a very different way. When that product launched, when that ABC video aired, $5 million in orders came in. And the vast majority of those orders never got fulfilled because the company was ran by doctors and scientists, right? So Oprah calls them, they didn't call Oprah back. A bunch of universities called these scientists, they called the universities back because they care about research, which led to some phenomenal research. So Lifevantage is a publicly traded company, and we're functioning in a space called nutrigenomics, which is nutrition and how it affects your genes. So I'm going to pop up for like literally a couple, like maybe 5 seconds where you can see what the video looks like. So when you watch it, you see it.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock?
And that's the question you've got to ask yourself. Do you want to know? So the things you're going to hear about tonight, do you want to start using this now or do you want to wait till you have to? When that video aired and all the orders came in and university called about it, well, the company almost went under because they wanted to do the studies, but they didn't sell the product because they're ran by doctors and scientists. But what it led to was literally lots of different studies looking at the process of oxidative stress and found that Protandim NRF2 literally changed that. So you've got studies by the American Heart Association published in the Journal of Circulation, Ohio State on heart disease, studies by LSU and the Skin Foundation on melanoma. You know, big universities throughout the globe studying Protandim NRF2 specifically in relationship to different things. So you can go to a place called pubmed.gov and you can look these studies up. Literally type in the word Protandim and you're going to see multiple studies showing up on there. So my dad and I, we've taught and trained physicians all over the world, and he's formulated over 200 different natural products. Zero of those products have any published studies on PubMed. Now, why is that? Literally because it takes millions of dollars or something like this to happen to fund those type of studies. So you now know, like when you really look at Protandim NRF2, the validation that's there. So go look that up if you want to, right? But then check the box, is this really real? Well, to be published on PubMed and have multiple studies, over 20 of them, plus on positive studies on a nutritional supplement I've never seen, right? So let me talk about the process of why this is so important, but go look up the research on it. But also when you go to pubmed.gov, I want you to look up this word, oxidative stress. You're going to find hundreds of thousands of hits of oxidative stress and how that relates to humans, well, really the condition of humans, okay? And the oxidative stress is literally caused because you're alive and you breathe. Right? It's caused by what you eat. It's caused by what you drink. It's caused by the air that you breathe. It's caused by too much or too little exercise. It's caused by electromagnetic stress that you don't even see. It's caused by medication and everything else, right? So literally the process of oxidative stress happens in every single human on the planet. We see it all the time around us. So if you literally take a bite of an apple and you let it sit on the counter, it turns brown. That's the process of oxidative stress. If you leave metal outside and rain hits it or the sun hits it, like in Arizona, it actually starts rusting or breaking down. That's a process of oxidative stress. So how you're feeling oxidative stress depends on what part of the body you feel it in. So this is a picture that helps you see that. So if it's in your heart that you have oxidative stress going on, things like cardiovascular disease occurs, whether it's myocardial infarctions, hypertension, ischemia, all of that is oxidative stress associated with the heart. So if you have a family member or friend that you're wondering, hey, I wonder if oxidative stress is part of the problem that they have, go to pubmed.gov, type in whatever that might be. Maybe it's diabetes, right? And then type in diabetes oxidative stress and see what shows up. So literally hundreds of diseases are directly related to oxidative stress. So the question now becomes, what do you do about the process of oxidative stress? Like, is there anything that you can do besides change your diet, besides get more sleep, besides decrease your stress level? Because we should do all that anyway. But is there anything else that you can do to literally hack into your body's potential to address this process of oxidative stress? There is. All right. So you can activate your body's natural ability to fight oxidative stress by using natural substances, right? And one that reduces it by on average of 40% in 30 days is protandim nerve 2, right? So imagine if you could get your body to function 40% better, would you want to? The way I look at this is a lot like, what would happen if you could literally have 40% less stress in your life? Or what would you do if you could have 40% more income in your bank account every month? Like, what would you do first? Like, what would you fix first, right? And that what money would you save, and then what vacations would you take? Your body is no different. It is right now feeling like it feels based upon how well your body is handling oxidative stress. So if you could improve that process by 40% in 30 days, what might your body feel like? What might you be able to do in a day? Now, this happens because when you take protandim NRF2, this combination of herbs put in a very specific ratio causes your body to produce these big cleanup guides in your body. One called superoxide dismutase. It increases it by 30%, catalyzes by 54%, increases glutathione by 300%. And I was just having a conversation yesterday with a nurse practitioner. She goes and gives IVs to people with glutathione. Well, that glutathione push, they call it, literally is about $175 just for the IV push. Now, is it effective? Yeah, I had one a few weeks ago, right? But what if you could literally take something that allows your body to turn on a switch to manufacture it? People ask me all the time, well, like, is it safe to take, right? And what about long term? Can I take it? Well, the effects of everything that you do are cumulative long term. So the effects of not exercising are cumulative long term. The effects of exercising are cumulative long term. The effects of increasing your glutathione production long term is a cumulative, right? The effects of education and learning are cumulative long term, right? So had I quit in high school, I wouldn't become a physician. So if you quit doing the things that work for you, your body is not going to get better. It's going to actually get worse. So one of the cool things about protandim nerve 2, we literally have a study that's a 10-year study showing that it extends lifespan in mammals. So I don't know of any other dietary supplement, one that's been proven to extend life, let alone have a 10-year study on it, right? So you can take that to knowing that this is something that has been proven in science in the lab, but also proven clinically. But because if I started putting this product in patients' life that I've treated over a decade, I was watching their bodies respond in such a way that I didn't think was possible. Like literally them being able to do things that they hadn't been able to do in a decade or longer because their bodies were now healing at a rate that it wasn't before. So this is why it works like it does, and why I see that's why I've seen that clinically, and also why I saw it in this young man, right? So literally right now you have oxidative stress going on in your body. The more stressed out you are, the worse your diet is, the more oxidative stress you have. It's just how it works. All right. Some jobs have higher levels of oxidative stress, like you're flying in airplanes, right? Or you're working in certain areas where there's a lot of toxicity. So the way you reduce it is by eating clean. So your fruits and vegetables. So literally, if you wanted to improve your body's ability to like reduce oxidative stress at the level that a protandim nerve 2 one capsule would do, you need to eat about 400 oranges a day or about 500 cups of broccoli. Or you can take protandim nerve 2 and your body will literally manufacture the big enzymes by that switch, where literally it's going to reduce that oxidative stress by an average of 30%, 40% in 30 days, up to 70% in 3 months. So my question is, and when you watch that video here later, it's going to say, I don't want to wait till I'm 80 before I start taking it. So literally, the sooner you start activating these enzymes in your body, the better chance you have of feeling great and repairing, right? And the effects of not doing that are cumulative, just like the effects of doing it are cumulative. So the question becomes like, how big a deal is this science idea? I remember when I saw this and I started thinking, well, how did they do this? Like, how did they literally figure this stuff out? Because it was born in the laboratory. When nutritional supplements are typically made, You research and you try putting things together and hope it works, right? And you do it clinically, right? But you don't have the ability to literally do it in a lab and check how the cells respond. So Washington State says this science of activating the NRF2 protein in the body is potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. Let that sink in just a second. Think about all the really cool things in medicine, like amazing things in medicine, right? And Washington State has said if we have the ability to activate this NRF2 protein in the body, it potentially has the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. That's a really, really, really big deal. But also it begs this differ, like what if there are other things that you could do the same way, other ways you could literally turn on your body's natural ability to function ideally, right? So if you could reduce oxidative stress, would there be a way to actually do other things that are helpful to improve the systems of the body? Because the reason why you have symptoms is because you have systems that aren't working. Well, there is. There's another big system out there called mitochondrial function, so it's the energy production in your body. So when your mitochondria work right, you produce a molecule known as ATP. That energy is what allows the body to literally do things. So when your ATP function optimally, you're going to have better energy production, which means your cell is going to function at its peak, right? This activation nerve 2 allows your body to get your mitochondria to work optimally and to produce to produce new ones. But also, when these work right, it supports your chromosome integrity. So that's your blueprint, right? So think about a day when you're tired. Like, how much do you really get done, right? So imagine if your mitochondria could make more energy. Like, how much more could you get done, but also how much more repair could happen? So instead of like saying, hey, what does my mitochondria need to produce energy, which you want to have? What if there was literally a way to make more mitochondria, so more assembly lines to produce energy? That's the activation of NRF1 protein. Okay. Another really big one out there is you're hearing all about this right now. NAD. I just had a lady come in today say I had an NAD IV, right? So great. It's nice to get like glutathione in your body through IV and have your body like put NAD into your body. But what if your body could literally make it? That's the difference in what we're talking about. We're not talking about supplementing something. We're actually talking about activating something. So just like with my kids, like I don't want to supplement their income forever. I want to activate them in such a way where they can make income on their own, right? So when NAD works right in your body, you have better mental focus and concentration. You have a better positive mood and motivation. You have better mental and physical energy. You have a more normal inflammatory response. You can maintain cholesterol levels like they're supposed to be, and it supports a healthy vascular response. So how do you activate NAD in your body? You do it by fasting. So you can literally fast and it upregulates the sirtuin molecule in your body, right? Or you can take Protandim NAD. It literally activates the switch where you increase your sirtuin levels by 100% in 24 hours, right? Like how big a deal that is. And here's what the concept is vastly different when you're looking out there what in the marketplace is available to you. Because most people are still thinking, how do I give my body what it needs so it can make a little bit more? Versus how do I turn on the switch to where my genes and my assembly lines start doing what they're designed to do and can be at optimal output, right? So let me show you something. So which one's most important? Is it most important to reduce oxidative stress? Is it most important to have better mitochondrial function? Or is it most important to have better sirtuin and NAD synthesis? Well, which one's most important to you? To me, all of them. So one of the questions that Lifevantage asked specifically is like, hey, which one is the most important of these three, right? And how might they influence each other together? So what this is a study where it looks at what they call gene activation. So think of it more as like, hey, if I have an assembly line, like how effective is that assembly line at in producing a certain product at the end, right? So this particular gene or assembly line is responsible for producing antioxidants and detoxification. So the gray line represents that when you give the cells Protandim NRF2, it increases the production of that assembly line by 40%, which kind of goes back to what we talked about where we decrease oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. When you combine it with adding in the NRF1 for the mitochondria and the NAD to help the sirtuins, it goes from a 40% to a 73%. So doubles the effectiveness of that assembly line. So imagine having a group of individuals doing a job and you double their output, right? You double their ability to, they more than double their production just by working together, right? Think about things in your life where you've literally seen where things work better together. That's what happened with this. Same thing true. Here's another gene looking at inflammation, right? And inflammation, from what we know, if you go ahead and go to PubMed and look at that, inflammation relates to pretty much almost all disease processes out there, whether you're talking about cancer, diabetes, heart disease, they all have a commonality of inflammation. So this is one of the genes that control inflammation. So the protein NRF2 literally increases that by 50%, right? The production of that assembly line. When you come out with NRF1 and NRF2, 838%. Right? This was true in every gene that was tested in response to looking at, this is the mitochondrial function. So mitochondria by itself increased 64. When you add the NRF2 and NAD with it, the 84, right? And over here, this is your body's ability to recycle the NAD, which you literally have to have or you die, all right? It just by doing the NRF of the NAD, it increased that gene production by 12%. Combined together, look at the difference, like 127%, 226%. So this makes sense in the human body because the more right systems you have working together, there's not one system that's all magical. But when the systems work together, your body can do the magic it's designed to do, right? Now, this concept is very, very new in the field of nutrition because before we couldn't test what response it has in the genes, right? We didn't have that ability. But to see that and realize, like, well, which one's most important? Well, all three of them. But the effectiveness together is even more powerful. So, what got me involved with this company was this very product right here, right? It wasn't watching the ABC video. It was the mom saying, look, this, he just wants to be smart like his brother. And this product went into his body. And literally within 11 days, it's like it flipped the switch in him. So for me, as I started looking at this, I started putting these products in people's lives. One of the people I put in specifically was a nephew of mine that literally had struggled since he was a little boy. He just one of those kids, last to get picked on the sports team. He was always having to stay in at recess. This is his handwriting, his penmanship of the spelling test. His mom, after having a conversation with us, started on the Protandim Nerve 2, and the actual, literally 2 weeks later, this was the text message she sent me. So every time I see this picture, I think about a little boy, a young man that had some struggles in how he perceived what he was capable of doing, right? So he was thinking, I must be that kid that has to stay in recess. I must be that kid that's gonna be the last one to get picked. So what does he think there? What does he think he's capable of? Yet when his body had these switches turned on, they were already there in his cells, but when he was given something that literally turned that switch on, literally his brain ability to communicate what was up here into his hand changed. So imagine what happened with an individual's self-esteem when that takes place, right? So what Lifevantage has literally done is they looked at, okay, where are places in the world where we need better solutions for big problems? And so is there a way for us to apply this science of nutrigenomics and biohacking where we can turn on cell switches where we can get better performance out of the cells? Well, they've done just that. So they're different products that Lifevantage makes, all based on this philosophy of gene activation, applied to very specific niches, whether it's talking about the products here with its health and longevity, okay, skin care, weight management, hair care, healthy energy, gut function and immune response, or the products you put on your body, right? Whether it's to look younger or feel better. This is where this has been applied. This Nerf 2, Nerf 1 nutrigenomic based technology. Literally, this has changed my ability and how I'm able to help people, right? I no longer have to guess that if I'm working on a mammal and I apply this technology, I know I'm turning on those gene switches. It's also changed my ability as a father because, back in 2008 and 2009, I still remember those times like it was yesterday because in 2008, my mom passed away. It changed my world forever. And the economy was super hard. I've practiced, I've owned my own practice since early 2000s. We survived that economy, but in 2008 and 2009, after my mom passed away and the economy was tanking, I had to have a conversation with my wife to where we had to sit down and say, look, we built this home a few years previously. It was our dream home. We designed it, we built it. And because of where the economy was and where we wanted to be financially in the future, we had to have a conversation. I still remember having that conversation with them, like saying that we have to like sell this home and we have to let it go. And it was a super hard conversation to have because it's like I felt like I had failed in a way. Um, Not because I meant to, but I just couldn't read, didn't have a crystal ball, and I never wanted to feel that feeling again. So when this came into my life and I watched that process happen on this little boy and these young people and the other patients I treated for over a decade, I knew I was going to naturally share the product. But I didn't really know how serious I'd be about sharing the information to build a business because I had a busy practice. People would come to me from all over the world to get treated. And I still remember a few weeks after I watched this response and get my belief in how cool the science was and meeting the people that are doing the business is that I was playing basketball, I broke my knee. And I remember calling my brother and he said, look, you've got a fracture in your leg, you should be off of it. And that 2008 came right back to me, 2009, and thinking, oh my gosh, what if I couldn't provide for my family? And because of that feeling, I said, look, everything that I do based on my financial future, based on what I do in a day. And I had watched other individuals that had done network marketing, became highly successful and built teams and were helping other people. And it was tied to not only their own efforts. And so I had some phenomenal mentors that mentored me in this business model. And because of that, I'm here today. And I went through 2020 and I didn't feel it the way I felt 2008 and 2009 because I now had an asset that was available to me because I had spent time building something. So I'm going to talk to you about the business, and I want you to think if you ever come to a place where you really wish you had a plan B and didn't have one, but you want to make one now, this might be it. I don't know, but I do know it's real. And so the way the world has become in the last couple of years is we've all come to a place where we realize health is more important than we ever thought it was before. And having income that's not tied to what we do in a day in a job is also more important than ever before. And to be able to work from anywhere. And you've seen that now. The world has drastically changed. It's going to only get more so. So you hear about the side hustle. Well, what is your side hustle if your main hustle doesn't work out? Right. So Lifevantage and network marketing has given me and anybody else that's willing to, no matter what your background is, to have a lifetime lifestyle where literally you can use the power of your cell phone and the power of your network and the power of building teams to share these products and also help find people that want to share it with others. So I want you to think about people you've thought about today as you've heard some of the things that I've shared about what might be going on in their life physically. But I also want you to think about people that you know that you've watched. Maybe it's you that has struggled financially. You've watched people struggle financially, and you want to create another asset, another stream of income. With network marketing and with these tools we now have today, we can do this business from anywhere. All right. Here's what it looks like. We're literally building a network of people who want to consume the product with phenomenal science and awesome studies. We're also building a network of people that want to share the products, right? That love and want to share the products and the space where you saw all the different products that are available, right? We get paid based upon helping more people experience the products. What I really think that we are was summed up by this Sabrina that I was telling you about earlier, where she said her son had been struggling for years. They'd been to 15 specialists. And because someone that I had met that had introduced me to them, and she came to a meeting, her son now today is doing things that she never thought possible, right? Because it gave her hope and it gave her answers. So the products, when they get into your body, can potentially change your life. Having another source of income can absolutely change your life. The way we get paid is this: the more I share the information with people, all of us share the information, no matter who you are, no matter what your background is, the more you make, right? And you also are rewarded to help people grow this. I love this. All right. So I can jump into a business at whatever level I choose, and I can put whatever effort I want into it, but the effort is equal to the amount of income you're going to make and the amount of lives you're going to change. So there's different packs you can start with. Each one allows you to be a distributor. All right. The power comes though in your ability to help people know about the product and also help build a team. So I love this because when I got involved, I was really good at being a physician. I was really good at sharing products that people needed, but I didn't necessarily know how to lead a team of people to help actually move products faster. So based on my own efforts, it was just going to be what I could get done in a day. Well, with this business model, um, people grabbed hold of me. So mentors and leaders grabbed hold of me and said, look, this is how you build a business, right? This is how you mentor people to be successful at being a leader. And the company rewards you specifically for doing that. Well, the more volume of product moves through your group, the more money you make. But what's fun about this is the more you can mentor people into becoming better leaders and really learning to own their own business and help other people have success, the more money you make, the more lives you touch. And what I love about this is it creates a team that allows you to work together in such a way where you create a camaraderie that's awesome. So when I got involved with this, like I was used to training physicians, but literally when I trained a physician and they worked for me and eventually they left, they're now my competition, right? So there's probably a part of me that always hold back a little bit in that regard. With this industry, is very different. If they're part of my team that I bring in, the more I pour into, the more successful they become, the more successful I become. But even if I didn't bring them in, the company has set a reward system based upon is that the top leaders in the company, those that have worked long enough and hard enough to hit a certain rank, literally you share in a small fraction of every product sold every single month. What that does, it creates a culture where no matter what team you're part of, like I want you here because we want to touch more lives and we want to grow the business as big as possible. And that's what this elite pool is. All right. So being a publicly traded company, I love that we can know exactly what is possible. All right. When I first started doing this, literally I was working Monday through Thursday, and then I was doing meetings nights and weekends, and that's what I did. Okay. And I did that along with my day job, right? And I did that hard for 3 years. All right. In 3 years, I hit the rank of Pro 7. Now, what this is the average income per rank. So, no matter where you want to hit, you can get there depending on how much effort you want to put in. So, a Pro 3 is someone that is bringing in an average of about $5,000 worth of volume of product every single month. And their average check every single month residually is 626 bucks. All right. A Pro 4 is someone that has 10,000 in volume that goes to their group, and their check is 1,400, almost $1,500 a month. So here's what I want you to think about now. Like, how much effort would you put in and for how long to create that? So this right here is the average size of the Social Security check. So for me, I'm 46, almost 47. So for me to ever get any Social Security money, I have to hit 69 and a half and live to it. Right. So I've got to live another 20 plus years, right, to hopefully have this. And people say, well, is network marketing worth it? Well, the short answer is absolutely. Right. If done right with the right people, with the right product, with the right company, with the right timing for you and for the company, it can be an absolutely amazing opportunity. So for me, in 3 years, it allowed me to have an income somewhere in here that allowed me to sell my practice to where I could now own my life. So instead of scheduling my work first and family second, I can schedule my family first and work second. And it depends on how far you want to take it. What I can promise you is this. I hope that you really dig into the science if that's what you need. But more than anything, please put it into your body, right? Because where you're at right now is a result of what you're currently doing. And the longer you wait, the more problems you're going to have. We know that, right? So if you don't have if you can have a better solution to this, then great, tell me about it, right? But the reality is, after being in the field as long as I've been there, as much as I've trained physicians, I have never seen something that does this, nor have I seen something that has the science to back that up. to have the validation and credibility. And as a business owner and having been working my whole life since I was like really like 14 when I started working with my dad, right? Like I've never been able to create an asset that allowed me to have more time. So the business model is real. The products are absolutely real. Please get with the person that shared this video with you or that got you on this call tonight. Get your questions answered. All right. But please get the products into you because there are tons of people out there right now looking for hope and looking for answers. And I don't know if they're ready for it yet, but this is ready for them. So you guys have a phenomenal night. Thanks for hopping on. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye. Oh, one last thing. Silly me. People ask me all the time, can I do this? Well, guess what? I was kind of laughing last night. I was talking to a practitioner and she just started her own practice. And she's like, holy cow, there's a lot of work to this. Like, I didn't know I had to do this, didn't know how to do this, didn't know how to do this. This is by far the simplest business I've ever ran because really all I have to do is learn how to share the product and put people on the product and they take care of the rest, right? I literally run all my business right from here. And people say, well, can I be successful? Well, are you coachable? Are you a hard worker? Well, if you're coachable and you're a hard worker and you're willing to put that effort in, the short answer, yes, you can be successful if you're willing to stick at it long enough. And we all come in with a different skill set. We all come in with a different background. But no matter when you start, no matter when you came in, if you're willing to go through the effort, the company's done their part. We have the tools and the corporate staff to help us out. Our job is to go out and share the information, right? And if what you're doing right now is getting you what you want and is going to get you what you want, keep doing it. If what you're doing is not leading you to where you want to be, then really do your homework and see if this is a fit because it could be an absolutely amazing experience for you and changing lives all along the way. All right, so I really am signing off now. You guys have a phenomenal evening. Get back to the person that invited you and please get these products in your body. See you later.